The afternoon sun poured through the tall windows of the Quartermain mansion, casting long shadows across the polished hardwood floors. What should have been a peaceful day in Port Charles was about to become one of the most explosive days the Quartermain family had witnessed in years, and at the center of it all stood Willow Corinthos. For weeks, Willow had been struggling with emotions she desperately wanted to ignore. Her relationship with Drew had become complicated. Trust had eroded. Every conversation felt forced. Every promise sounded hollow. She had spent months convincing herself that everything would work out. But deep inside, she knew something was broken, something she could no longer fix. Meanwhile, Chase had been dealing with troubles of his own. His marriage to Brooke Lynn had become strained under the weight of secrets, misunderstandings, and endless family drama. Though he still loved her, he couldn't deny the growing distance between them. Neither Willow nor Chase wanted to admit what was happening, yet every encounter between them became harder to ignore. Every glance lingered longer, every conversation felt more meaningful, and neither realized that fate was preparing a devastating collision. Earlier that day, the Quartermains had gathered for a family celebration. Tracy Quartermain was already irritated. That wasn't unusual. She had spent most of lunch criticizing the decorations, complaining about the food, and reminding everyone why she believed family gatherings were a terrible idea. Honestly, Tracy snapped, if incompetence were an Olympic sport, this family would win gold every year. Brooke Lynn rolled her eyes. Nana, you've insulted everyone here. I haven't even started yet, Tracy replied. The room erupted in nervous laughter, but beneath Tracy's usual sarcasm was something else: concern. She had been observing Willow all afternoon. The younger woman seemed distracted, nervous, almost guilty, and Tracy's instincts rarely failed her. She noticed Willow sneaking away from the gathering. Minutes later, Chase disappeared too. That was enough to trigger Tracy's suspicions. Interesting, she muttered. Without saying a word, Tracy quietly followed. Outside, the mansion gardens were silent. Birds chirped softly among the flowers. Willow stood near the fountain, trying to calm herself. She heard footsteps behind her. Turning around, she found Chase approaching. For a moment, neither spoke. The tension between them was undeniable. "We need to stop meeting like this," Chase said softly. Willow attempted a smile. "You're probably right." Neither moved, neither left, because neither truly wanted to. "I've been thinking about you," Chase admitted. Willow's heart raced. "Chase, I know this is wrong. Then why does it feel so right?" The question hung in the air, dangerous, powerful, impossible to ignore. Chase stepped closer. Willow didn't move away. Every warning inside their minds disappeared. Every reason to walk away vanished. Weeks of suppressed feelings finally exploded, and before either could stop themselves, they kissed. The moment felt endless. A release of emotions neither had wanted to acknowledge, but they weren't alone. A gasp shattered the silence. Willow immediately pulled away. Chase froze. Both turned toward the sound. Standing several feet away was Tracy Quartermain, and she looked absolutely furious. The older woman's eyes blazed with outrage. For several seconds nobody spoke. Then Tracy marched forward. "What exactly am I looking at?" she demanded. Willow's face turned pale. "Tracy, I can explain." "No, you cannot." Chase stepped forward. "This isn't what it looks like." "Oh, wonderful," Tracy snapped. The universal statement made by guilty people everywhere. Willow felt sick. She had never seen Tracy this angry, and that was saying something. "What were you thinking?" Tracy demanded. Nobody answered. "Brooke Lynn is your wife." She pointed directly at Chase. "And you," Tracy turned toward Willow. "You claim to care about your family." Tears filled Willow's eyes. "It just happened." Tracy laughed bitterly. "No, dear. Cars accidentally hit mailboxes. People accidentally forget birthdays. This did not just happen." The truth hit harder than any insult. Because Tracy was right, this wasn't sudden. It had been building for weeks, months perhaps. Willow lowered her head. The guilt became unbearable. Then everything changed, because Brooke Lynn appeared. What's going on? The voice sent chills through everyone. Brooklyn stopped walking. Her eyes immediately moved from Tracy's furious expression to Willow's tears, then to Chase. And suddenly she understood. No. Her voice barely emerged. No. Nobody answered. Nobody needed to. The truth was written across every face. Brooklyn looked at Chase. Tell me I didn't see what I think I saw. Chase couldn't. The silence became his answer. Brooklyn's world shattered. You kissed her? The question trembled with pain. Chase looked devastated. I'm sorry. Brooklyn laughed, a broken laugh, the kind produced when a heart is cracking apart. Sorry? Tears streamed down her face. That's all you have? Willow stepped forward. Brooklyn, please. Don't. The words sliced through the air. Don't say my name. Willow froze. She had never seen Brooklyn look so hurt, and knowing she had caused that pain made her feel even worse. Tracy watched the scene unfold. Her anger intensified. The Quartermain family had survived scandals before, plenty of them. But betrayal between people who claimed to love each other? That was different. That was personal. And seeing Brooklyn devastated pushed Tracy beyond her limit. Willow tried again. I never wanted this. Tracy's eyes narrowed. Then came the moment nobody expected. With lightning speed, Tracy stepped forward and slapped Willow across the face. The sound echoed through the garden. Everyone froze. Willow stumbled backward. Shock filled her eyes. Her hand immediately rose to her cheek. For several seconds, complete silence followed. You should be ashamed of yourself. Tracy's voice trembled with fury. Willow stared at her, speechless. I defended you, Tracy continued. I believed in you. Tears poured down Willow's face. But this? Tracy shook her head. This is betrayal. Nobody moved, nobody spoke, because Tracy wasn't finished. You hurt yourself. She pointed toward Willow. You hurt Chase. Then toward Brooklyn. And most importantly, you hurt her. Brooklyn sobbed quietly nearby. The sight was heartbreaking. Chase finally intervened. Tracy, stop. No. Tracy turned toward him. You're equally responsible. Chase lowered his head. Because once again, she was right. There was no escaping responsibility, no excuse, no justification, only consequences. And they had finally arrived. Within an hour, news spread throughout Port Charles. As always, secrets never remain secret for long. By evening, phones were ringing everywhere. Questions multiplied, rumors exploded, speculation grew. And every person connected to Willow or Chase found themselves caught in the storm. Drew was furious. Nina was stunned. Carly couldn't believe it. Even Sunny was left speechless. The fallout had only begun. Back at the Quartermain mansion, Brooklyn packed a suitcase. Chase stood helplessly in the doorway. Please don't go. Brooklyn continued folding clothes. I can't stay here. We can fix this. She looked at him sadly. Can we? The question broke his heart, because he didn't know the answer. Neither did she, and that uncertainty was perhaps the worst part of all. Elsewhere, Willow sat alone in a park. The sting from Tracy's slap had faded, but the emotional pain remained. She replayed every moment repeatedly. The kiss, Brooklyn's tears, Tracy's anger, her own guilt. Nothing could erase what happened. Nothing could undo the damage. For the first time, Willow truly understood how one decision could change everything. Meanwhile, Tracy stood in the Quartermain living room. Though she remained angry, something else lingered beneath the surface. Sadness. Because despite everything, she cared about Willow. She cared about Chase, and she hated seeing people destroy their lives. Monica quietly approached. You shouldn't have slapped her. Tracy sighed. I know. Do you regret it? Tracy considered the question carefully. Finally, she answered. The slap? A pause followed. Maybe. Her expression softened. But what she did? Tracy shook her head. That will hurt far longer than any slap ever could. As night fell over Port Charles, lives remained shattered, relationships hung by a thread, families stood divided, trust lay broken, and nobody knew what tomorrow would bring. Would Brooke Lynn ever forgive Chase? Could Willow redeem herself? Would Drew seek revenge? Could Tracy repair the damage caused by her own actions? One thing was certain: the kiss had changed everything, and the consequences were only beginning. In Port Charles, secrets always come with a price. This time, everyone would pay it.